Hello, everyone. Welcome to Progressive HR Live. I'm your host, Corinne Woodman-Hollebeck, founder of Progressive HR, and I have with me today the wonderful Vijay Navaluri, who is the co-founder and the chief customer officer of Techforce.ai. We're going to be talking about modern HR, the creator economy, and citizen developers today. This is key because all of these factors enable organizations and individuals to close skill gaps and allow us to truly learn in the flow of work. And to that end, this will support employee and worker experience and disrupt burnout. How are you today, Vijay? And how are things in Mumbai?
Hey Corinne, to be on Progressive Live today. I'm doing very well. Yeah, Mumbai is regular hot, getting hotter.
Is digital enablement and why is it a critical for people first necessity in 2022?
It comes to using technology at work. There are foundationally three pillars: the people, process, and technology, Corinne. And digital enablement is actually focused on the people part of it because there is so much talk about technology all the time. There's so much talk about, how do you improve your process efficiency and automation, so on and so forth. But what is that we are doing for enabling people at work? So digital enablement at work is actually focusing on the third key pillar, I think the most ignored pillar of people, and how do you really just in time enable them with what they need at work. So the way that I would put sometimes very simply is digital enablement is equal to employee success, right? So it's a very strategic way of enabling everybody at work to get strategic objectives.
Thanks, Vijay. And to the audience, we'll be talking a little bit more about I know that Vijay mentioned just-in-time enablement, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that towards the end of our broadcast here today. Question for you, Vijay. Who is a citizen developer? What's the role in the digital enablement of an organization? And how does this tie into the creator economy?
So it's one of my most favorite and passionate topic to talk about, Corinne. So there are so many definitions about citizen developers and technology, but we always at Techforce.ai we always come from very simple business user or business friendly aspect of it. So the way that I would look at or explain citizen developer is about any employee in an organization who would like to solve a business problem using technology, which actually can be used by others. So that is as simple as that. If you're able to use technology at your disposal and solve a business problem from the organization, you are a citizen developer. And in fact, while there is an increasing trend towards no-code citizen development initiatives in every organization, whether it's a medium, enterprises to a large enterprise, everybody is focusing on how do you bring more hands into solving business problems using technology. And there are so many tools that are coming up, huge digital transformation, adoption, and different types of initiatives, enablement initiatives going on to people to be able to use these no-code, low-code technologies to start solving problems, whether creating automation, creating applications, which everybody else can use in the organization. So just to tie the story into what creators are. So creators on the other side of the story, where somebody who wants to share their knowledge, expertise, which others can use. We have seen that in music industry, where a creator creates a content and everybody else consumes it. We have seen it in the arts. Now, if you bring that back into the workplace, so what we believe at creators at work would be who are actually creating content in the form of applications, in the form of automations, in terms of knowledge that they're sharing of their subject matter expertise, and others are consuming it. So I think the next big revolution in the future of work point of view would be having more creators at work, which is, as per the statistics, not even 1% of the people create content that actually can be consumed by others at workplace today. That has to be changed in the future of work.
Thanks, Vijay. And so you mentioned low code, no code. And for our audience, what's a very simple, quick definition of no code, low code technology?
This no code, low code technology is coming to picture where you, as a business user, as a business owner, know how to best solve the problems, but you actually can go ahead and solve it to a stage which actually then, if you need an IT additionally for that, you can bring. For a simple example could be, how are you onboarding employees? What is your approval process? How are you configuring people into different applications when they're onboarding? How are you helping them answering some of the simple questions that they need? Are you putting people to it? Are you able to provide 24/7 support to them to answer the questions that they have? How are you focusing on their well-being? How are you enabling their L&D, learning and development point of view? So all these things, you can start creating small apps. It could be as simple as a workflow app to get access to a course that the employees want to do, so that you don't have to go to IT for all the time to build these kind of simple workflows and automations.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of look at it like low code, no code is like a template to hack a system to provide a better solution for you as the person that is using it. Because a lot of times when we look at how technology is built, we're more and more into human-led design, but a lot of times that you have people who are product developers and they don't necessarily think about the end user. So it's like an end user having a template to how to hack a technology to solve a problem. So that's kind of in my mind how I think about it.
I can give a simple analogy there.
Okay. Yeah.
So
no.
the way that I always think about this is, it's an ice cube effect. So you take an ice cube and you want to really pass it on to a 10th person, right? By the time you pass the ice cube to the 10th person in the line, it gets melt, right? I mean, you will only see the small part of it. That's exactly what happens when business users want to solve a problem and they are dependent on a lot of people in the process. By the time what actually they would see, how they want to solve the problem might completely change. But if you bring that problem solving ability closer to the business teams and give them the iterative power to quickly adopt, learn from how it is reflecting, because nobody can plan in the digital world, nobody can plan everything from day one. You can't really think of a product without iterations, without user feedback, iterating fast enough. From day one, you can create a product that actually everybody will love. So it's all about how fast you can iterate, how fast you can take the feedback loop and solve the problems for a larger audience. For that, if you have a big lag of IT teams and then vendors, then you will lose all the purpose, and by the time you actually solve it, the problem might not even be relevant. So that's exactly where citizen development, no code, all these tools coming together, bringing technology closer to the business users so that they can take control of solving and iterations and feedback loop.
Oh, thank you. I really like that ice cube analogy. This is everybody's important question. What is HR's role in digital enablement?
Oh, it's very strategic and very broad. So if you look at, as I was talking about digital enablement, what is that? It's employee success. So what does success mean? Is it well-being? Is it about performance of them? Is it having them right learning, right tool set that they need to perform their work the best? So you can't just leave it on individual business unit. You need to partner with these business teams to ensure that you are the champion of employee success. So there's a whole concept of customer success, right? There are so many software today about how to ensure your customers are successful. But what is your employee success platform? What are you doing about it? So HR is having the broad strategic role in enabling digitally all their employees in today's world to be successful at work. And that also includes not just policies and the whole cultural aspect of it, but also it goes into, are you providing them just-in-time assistance, right? For example, I'm a salesperson. I joined this company. How am I going to be successful from day one? Yes, you can throw me 100 videos. In the digital world, I'm hitting the road running. When the moment I join the company, there are expectations. I have to start delivering, performing. So at work, when I'm actually using a tool, I'm actually using an app, how are you just in time providing that enablement? And that comes the key L&D aspect of it, where you're able to provide the micro learning, assistance to perform their tasks, digital tasks successfully. That itself will bring a huge difference in terms of employees' productivity and success. And apart from that, in HR can also focus on what are the kind of digital transformation programs that as HR we need to drive, not just from the HR transformation point of view, but also employee success point of view in terms of how do I partner with sales team, how do I partner with marketing, how do I partner with manufacturing team, how do I partner with in my own back office finance and accounting teams to ensure all of them are able to succeed at work, in terms of and enabling them on those technologies, those applications, in the overall being partner in the digital transformation programs broadly in the organization. So HR has a very pivotal and partnership role that they need to play with the business teams in their own digital and transformation initiatives, but also drive some of their own HR's own initiatives to enable, just in time enable everybody at work, so that you're actually creating a future of work platform for the organization.
So what you're talking about is not just having an L&D system where we can go and look up like how-tos or content that we need to learn, but having a digital assistant, maybe something that sits on your desk, like that's voice commanded, that if you're working and all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, I need to learn how to use Canva. And you turn to your digital assistant and say, bring up a video on how to use Canva.
Absolutely, it's actually a little more advanced actually, where that is the foundation what you talked about. For example, at Techforce.ai, we are a just-in-time digital enablement company. You can download Techforce.ai on your laptop, and the super assistant, we call it. The assistant is sitting in your laptop and enabling you step by step how to, for example, take Canva, how to create a Facebook post in Canva. It can give you a small video, which is again learning and doing, but actually it would be even more helpful if it actually guides me step by step how to do that. It walks me through step by step. It will log into Canva. It will take you to a Facebook template and says, here is how it is. And then you can do this step by step. It walks you through. So AI and assistants are coming to next level, not just throwing content at you and leaving you to learn it on by yourself, but actually enabling you just in time to perform the task step by step. That's the next stage. It's actionable knowledge. It's just not knowledge content offline, right? So there are two extremes to this world today. If you look at future of a Korean, one is you can go to Udemy's, you can do Coursera's, you can learn so much. There's so much we can learn today, but none of us have all the time, right? We all have a life to live, and we have to perform our job as well. So there are some core things that you always want to learn, but you can't learn everything. I might be using 10 applications every day, and there are 100 features coming every month into it. So there is no way humanly I can follow all those 100 features and learn, and then it's too much. So that is where AI and automation can help today, where a technology like Techforce.ai comes into picture, where we actually provide that step-by-step guidance, not just offline knowledge, but also bring that micro learning, real-time enablement to perform those tasks. And you can also automate some of them, right? So that you're not doing them repetitively. You can actually automate them. So that's where again the just-in-time assistant will come to delegate you. It will be delegated to the just-in-time assistant to do those tasks. Where you need to perform, it will help you, guide you. But where you actually can delegate, it can actually perform the task. That actually gives a lot more time to be creative, a lot more time to be and improves your productivity significantly.
So I really like what you said about not just knowledge, but active knowledge.
Active knowledge, yes. Actionable knowledge.
What is it? Actionable
Actionable
knowledge?
knowledge. Actionable knowledge.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not surprised. If you see the statistics today, less than 1% of the people have access to automation and AI assistants. There are chatbots, nobody uses them. But if you really want to have a just-in-time enablement assistant, it's really being enabled to be really helping them successful in their own applications in-app. Not even 1% of them have this technology today. It's just because so far we've been focusing on either you learn or you automate. But what about people? How are you really enabling them at work? So that's, I think, is the next big thing that will happen in the future of work. And I can't imagine a world in less than next 5 years where all of us not having our own personal digital work assistant to enable you yourself, keep your knowledge, keep your memory, because I can't remember everything. There are 100 passports that I can't remember. There are 200 tasks that I have to perform. I don't remember. So it's just digital overload. Information is getting overloaded, and we are creating information for others at scale now. So you got to have an assistant. There is no other way to survive. So like email, like Zoom, like conferencing software, you've got to have your own assistant. And that's where I think we are being very relevant, and we see a lot more traction from our customers.
So I was reading your featured blog yesterday, and I think it's called the 7 reasons why we need digital assistants for the future of work. And one of the reasons was because you could actually tell your digital assistant, or you could set up where your digital assistant does work for you overnight on mundane tasks. Like, how close are we to that?
We are. Most of our customers do that actually today. So we have finance teams and HR teams running tasks which are actually they supposed to sit and work extra time. They are running them and completely unsupervised mode, working in the night time. And by the time they come, or sometimes they grab a coffee and then that the task is completed. So there are so many use cases that we see, and it's so fulfilling to see. These HR are the business users now able to train their own skills for their assistant. So if you look at Alexa or some of these existing digital assistants in the personal life today, you got to use what's there out there. Hey Alexa, switch on light. Hey Alexa, do this. Hey Alexa, set room temperature. So most of the skills are available there and you're using it. But that's not easy in a workplace, right? So you have your own applications, you have your own data. So it has to be completely in a very secure, governed, centrally managed. That's where we come the sophisticated software for businesses to do that at scale. At the same time, it has to be as simple as what we are using those digital assistants experience at work. For example, hey, can I run an actual report? Can I run a hiring process? Can you onboard these 5 users quickly? So, and it will actually going to log into this application, perform those tasks like a human does, and then gives them. So it's actually not just talking assistants like most of the chatbots and voice assistants today. That's the reason that a lot of people don't use digital assistant, because they are not really functional to the level it really helps them, what you just mentioned, to do those tasks, serious tasks. So now technologies like ours come into handy there, where they actually perform human-like tasks. They log into applications, perform those mundane, repetitive data entry, reporting, Excel and data entry, data document processing kind of workflows. And wherever it has to collaborate with the user, it will collaborate with them. So it's a very seamlessly built-in assistant to work between human and AI and automation. So that's where it is, and we see it reality, and we see it so fulfilling when it's actually doing and saving time for a lot of these businesses, and they themselves able to train it as their own assistant and without any IT help,
I
with
would
all the
love that.
security and policy.
I would love to train a digital assistant. I think that'd be a great way to, it'd be a great skill to have.
It's the
Is
future of skill. It's a skill of future. You got to have how to work with AI, how to train AI, and how to make it work for you. It's a skill of the future. So I think most of us have to start learning it, as soon as it's available and possible.
And so one of the I think it was a few I was doing a podcast, and we were talking about AI, and we were talking about algorithms, and a lot of people were kind of not necessarily fearful of AI, but they were saying, "Oh no, I don't use any AI," and "Oh, I could never train AI." And my point to them was like, "You're training AI every day in things that you do, like function on LinkedIn, like interact with your feed on LinkedIn. Like the easiest one is interacting with Netflix. You're training AI
Exactly.
on Netflix, and we don't really realize that. We don't often give ourselves the credit that we deserve to be able to understand
Exactly.
and learn things about technology. I mean, it's all around us, and we're training AI every day in the things that we do. Well, you're training everyone on this live is training AI right now with engaging with this live on LinkedIn.
That's exactly how we feel as well. So if you look at Corinne on the, you can be a creator just being a human, and by training the AI, which actually can be used by 100 others, right? So you just don't know that you are a creator because you're not publishing it as your skill. It's actually the AI is taking over. So when we come to at companies like Techforce.ai, where we are permissive AI, where we are enabling every user to train and they become the master of that skill and they publish that. So we have a creator profile for everyone. And if you're training an AI, means you are actually adding value to it and 100 others are using it. So we believe transparency is the next big step in AI, and bringing more people feel comfortable working with AI and feeling what they're doing, seeing the result on the other side will make them much more comfortable. Like any technology, any software, like mobile, like laptop. when we start using it, when we have the live experience of engaging with it, then we start feeling comfortable. But if you don't, if it's a black box, like what you mentioned, that you're training LinkedIn, you're training Google, the companies, the big box companies, what they did is, it's their IP end of the day, and you don't know what's happening behind. So I think at work, if you want to be scale, if you want to achieve the privacy and the security that we need to give to at the workplace, it has to be transparent, and that's exactly what we champion here. By making creators, let them know they are trainers, what they are training, what skills they are saying, they'll publish, they'll get the credit to it, and eventually, people can monetize knowledge as well, because it's your subject matter expertise.
Comment come in, and I really like this comment. Elena said, very good point about how we all train AI, Kareen. We're always providing data to our systems and our platforms anyway. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Alina. And we are all creators at work, but it's just that we don't realize sometimes we are not enabled, we are not told, because the kind of work that we do, we create an Excel, 100 others use it, it's a creation, but we don't celebrate it that way. I think what we have as an ecosystem start doing is, we need to start championing, celebrating creators at work, and so then more creations happen, and then more motivation, and then there's more monetization, and people can see how they are actually training systems and AI, and how they're helping others.
Yeah. You don't have to be a live streamer or a gamer or an artist of NFTs or to be a creator. We're all creators. Just because you
We're already
generate,
creators. Exactly, we're already creators.
yes, humans have been creating since, oh goodness, before recorded history. So just because someone has creator on their LinkedIn profile title or not doesn't make them a creator, make you not a creator. To your point, Vijay, we all have this potential. We're all meant to be creators.
Absolutely. But if you look at our mission statement of Techforce.ai is, enabling everybody to be a creator at work. And we believe the less than 1% community who are feeling they are creators, but there are 98%, 90% of the people who are actually working every day, creating content, it could be a tech people creating code, it could be business people creating Excels, workflows, documents, knowledge, all that is being used. And but right now it's offline. What we are trying to bring is just in time, so that there is more real-time feedback loop between the creator and the user, right? I think that's the unique problem that we are solving here. But otherwise, all of us are creators, and we just need to bring them out.
So how can organizations use digital enablement to close tech skills gaps?
It's very, very relevant in the entire digital skills gap. What we are seeing around, everybody shouting from the floor how serious this problem is today at workplace, in this entire skill gap problem is. I'm sure HR would be facing the two extremes of the world. One is the great attrition to fill the people. On the other side, you have huge skill gap. People are not available, or skills are not available rather. So the just-in-time enablement is one shot in the arm, we could say. That, for example, take a simple use case. You don't know how to use a new HR system, right? And there are 100 features that you actually want everybody user to know. The one way is to all of them go through a structured learning program, videos, course material, get certified. And one interesting fact is that all of us humans forget what we learn in less than 6 days, at least say 90% of it in less than 6 days, if you don't apply it immediately. So I'm sure most of us read a lot and we keep forgetting it. The reason is that is how the information overload today is. So if you don't apply immediately, we forget 90% of it. So it's important from the skills gap point of view to create micro learning enablement, right? So how do I use so and so app when I'm actually inside that app and I'm trying to perform a new hire process, if I'm trying to perform a payroll process, if I'm trying to perform a HR enablement, HR assistance, or HR help desk kind of use case. So how do you just in time provide the right knowledge to perform the task, and also enable them step by step how to do it? So we believe that kind of approach will solve significant digital skills problem today, where you're not supposed to have an expectation that you know everything from day one. It's okay to start your work, and you will be enabled just in time. You have an assistant, by the way. Don't worry, you don't have to learn everything. As long as you know your domain, as long as you know how to, what it means, and having those soft human skills whether it's empathy, whether it's connect, whether it's collaboration, whether it's learning and the aptitude. Technology is something that we will take care of, right? So look at this from the broader point of view, the skill gap. So one staggering statistics for AIN is 3.7 billion people are still offline, right? And if you look at from diversity and inclusion, there are varied profiles of people who don't have access to technology the way that a lot of privileged people have access to technology. So you can't expect them to be, if you want to bring them into the digital workplace, how do you, it's just not about bringing them and, hey, saying that give them a laptop and start using it, or give them a mobile smartphone and using it. But they should be able to perform those digital tasks. They should feel confident and comfortable. So how do you bring a next billion people into the digital workplace? How do you enable different, digital quotient people at work to succeed? So that's exactly where we believe digital enablement, just-in-time enablement, will help a lot to diversify your talent profiles, bring more, next-gen talent into the workplace, solve this great attrition problem, and also enabling them at work to succeed day to day by taking the real-time feedback from them. So it's a huge step forward in terms of one addressing the digital skill gap from at the same time at workplace enablement point of view.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what that statistic was again. How many billion people?
3.7 billion people are still not connected, to internet, or connected to internet, but they don't have a way to work on digital workplace.
So that certainly could really widen the talent pools that we have right now.
That is the future of work, right? So if you look at future of what we see as work, we are already seeing where you are from and what you are should not matter to succeed in this work. But it's far from reality today. I would only attribute some success to COVID to really make it push people towards that. Where you are from, you can from anywhere in the world, you can connect to a device and you can start working. I think that's becoming more and more reality. If you're a skilled person, who you are still is a challenge in terms of who we are hiring. There is so much of debate about that. So I think if you in the future for who you are, where you are from should not matter, and we know we are going to achieve that. And how do we achieve that? By bringing more people into the workplace from different varied profiles, varied races, varied countries, and enable them with the skills, right? If you have to cut down the ramp up time for them. They can come and learn things for 3 to 5 years. All of us went through that digital skills inclusion, digital fluency aspect of it. We went through that. So you have to cut down that time for them to be productive more. So that's where AI and automation kind of technologies come handy. And you have your own people in your existing organization. You have different digital quotients of people. Not everybody have this same digital fluency. Some people don't know how to use Outlook. Many of them. Some of them don't know how to use, Excel. And there are people who actually have advanced capabilities in that. So you got to bridge the gap, and you got to bring everybody on the same page to implement digital transformation and accelerate the output of that.
So I just had a mind spark, and what I'm also hearing is that just-in-time digital enablement could also speed up our time from source to hire, because we're not necessarily looking for the person that has this experience and these skills. We're looking for someone who is a people person or soft skills, has power skills, and they're more of a cultural add. So we don't have to do this like 60-day, 90-day, these long drawn out recruiting and hiring processes. It could be shorter. We can not only increase our talent pools, but we could also decrease our costs and prevent recruiter burnout. And oh gosh, the list goes on. That's what I'm hearing? Is that what you're saying as well?
Absolutely. Recruiters can start becoming more proactive in advising their clients, saying, hey, why don't you hire somebody so and so? Because eventually what technology, what it is, it doesn't matter as long as they have right soft skills. The hard skills can be enabled by digital assistants and digital enablement softwares in the market. And that makes HR life easier. They would not have to source those extreme unicorns, right? And you can actually hire somebody, trainable, skillable, and then bring them at work and immediately ramp up. And it also brings a lot of additional talent pool, as you rightly mentioned, and reduces this entire sourcing burden today in the great attrition. If you look at, people are finding it so hard to recruit people with the skills. So, that complete equation can change. You're right.
Audience, I really love Techforce AI's resources, their blog. Their blog is, really great for helping to very simply understand AI, RPA, which is robotic process automation, digital skills, digital fluency, and digital literacy. So I do recommend going over to Techforce AI and looking at their blog. And this is not just because they're sponsoring the live today. I really feel it's a great resource. So in that sense, Vijay, could you tell us what is the difference between digital literacy and digital fluency? And I've heard you use both of these terms during our conversation today, and so I just wanted to help let the audience know from your point of view what's the difference.
So I'll avoid some dictionary definitions because we all can look up them, but I will tell them the practical way of how we see digital literacy and fluency. So all of us have some sort of digital literacy because we all use smart devices today, right? Whether it's our phone or laptops and stuff like that. So having that, and how are you using it strategically to use it, technology and information for your objective, is called digital fluency. So I know how to do LinkedIn, I know how to do log into social media and do that. But is it helpful enough for me to perform my work, right? And strategically get an objective out of it, right? Whether it could be learning, it could be at work, or it could be to play, to work, to learn, any of these areas where I have a strategic objective, and how am I able to use these digital tools or technologies or information is what I call a digital fluency. So the difference between literacy and fluency is about knowing something and about using it in a right timely manner and towards an objective. Level one being just how to operate a laptop and how to log in. And level two is creating profiles and ability to understand using email tools, productivity softwares, Office suite, and so on. So there are a lot of people are there, and there are so many people who are actually not even there. But level three is where actually you're able to perform their next level understanding, using data science tools, you're using business analytics tools, and using SaaS applications to perform those tasks. That is level three, enterprise applications or business applications. So there is a varied level of gap difference between digital fluency of people. Some people are fluent at level one, some people are higher fluency at level two, and some people are actually level three. But what statistics says, level one itself, there is 48% of the people don't know how to use them. So I'm assuming level three is much higher in terms of digital skill gaps. But when we design applications today, when we design business processes today, whether it's HR process, we assume people would come from varied background, and all of them have same level of fluency, and they'll start using it from day one and succeed. And that's exactly where 70% of digital transformations fail. I'm sure this is one of the favorite tagline of Emma and some of these digital transformation champions. That's just because we're assuming people will adapt to software. Actually, it should be the other way around. So that you accommodate digital quotient DQ of people in your digital transformation, and make sure that you enable them to power the transformation and change.
So going back to what I said about your blog, I grabbed a quote from you that said, "The primitive definition of digital skills only includes technical aspects. However, the ability of humans to function effectively in the digital world is heavily determined by their soft skills." So I appreciate that quote that you had in the blog, because we're talking again about digital literacy, which is being able to work within applications or opening up a laptop, as to where we go to digital fluency, which is having learning agility and being able to learn within the flow of work using software applications.
Doing that, your existing skills are what you're actually using in a strategic way. You're actually using a very strategic, objective way of using technology and information to get something out of it, right? Just knowing is one part of it, but how are you using it to get something out of it is where the fluency comes into the picture.
Could you repeat that definition again?
I would say knowing to using. That knowing is literacy, but actually using it for achieving an outcome, in a strategic outcome, whether it's to learn, to work, to play, depending on what you're trying to achieve, is the fluency. So the gap between knowing and using is huge today. right? And a lot of people don't know that itself is a big problem. But a lot of people know some of it, but they're not using the information and tools in a right way to actually get an outcome that they want to achieve. So that is what we call it as fluency, literacy to fluency as a overall.
How can people additionally connect with you?
I'm a LinkedIn buzz. I'm always on the LinkedIn, so LinkedIn is the right way. I'm on my email Vijay at Techforce.ai in case anything queries. I normally talk a lot on LinkedIn. I write and I do blogs, so happy to engage there as well. But any questions about how a company can start their own digital enablement journey, enabling everybody at work digitally to succeed and help them, happy to do help do workshops, whatever it takes. Our team does it a lot, so we just don't do it as business. We think it's our responsibility to ensure that world is getting more digitally equitable, and so that we all are bringing better and better building better society and better workplace. So happy to engage, and LinkedIn is the right place and first place to catch up.
Thanks, Vijay. And thank you, Resourceful Humans, and we will see you back at the end of March. Thanks again, everyone.
Take care of you. Bye bye.